Remasters are all the buzz as of late. Nothing like doing menial work to get the consumer's hard-earned cash. Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the 10 most pointless video game remasters. For this list, we'll be looking at games that did the bare minimum to get the remastered subtitles, and suckers like you and me to purchase the same game twice.
Amnesia, eh? Indeed, there is no better defense.
Before we continue, we publish content all week long. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest video. Batman: Return to Arkham. It's hard to remaster games that already feel modern with decent visuals and excellent gameplay, but WB found a way to do just that with the remasters of both Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Return to Arkham does what a lot of remasters do, simply give the game a shiny coat of paint with better visuals and frame rates. All these visual upgrades actually bring it up to the standard of Arkham Knight, with small changes like the Joker's hair being a tad dark to match his look in Origins and Knight. All the characters' suits and outfits are much more detailed, down to the fibers on Batman's suit and the baddies having rips and blood on their clothes. Did we really need this remaster though? While it's nice to have the improved visuals, nothing else really changed. But at least we can play these games on modern hardware. Now, give us a remaster of Arkham Origins.
Your boss, where's he going?
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition. The game that seems to be ported to everything. The Anniversary Edition was supposed to be the ultimate version, but when this remaster came to modern hardware with the Xbox Series and PS5 release, it left some fans wanting more. On the surface, Anniversary Edition looked to be packed full of content, and it was, just not much new content. Included were Skyrim's 3 original pieces of DLC with Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn. Creation Club came back, and all 48 items came along with the addition of 26 new items. Anniversary Edition felt like the 50th port of Skyrim we received, and it felt like a cash grab. But we love spending time in Skyrim, so we gladly purchased it and spent another 300 hours building a new character.
Captain, what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection.
You condemn what you do not understand.
We must go, Ezio, now!
Let's take possibly the best 3 Assassin's Creed games and give them a facelift and take a few things away in the process. The Ezio Collection gave us Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, significantly better visuals and a smoother running game. This collection gave us all the DLC for each. However, some are still locked behind the very annoying Ubisoft Club, along with some rewards like the Bloodlines weapons and a few capes. So, if they're giving us all the great DLC, what are they taking from us? Well, the Ezio Collection doesn't have the amazing multiplayer from Brotherhood and Revelations. The Ezio Collection was just another way to release another Assassin's Creed game and continue the tradition of annual releases with minimal effort. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, you're a real stout.
It's rather crazy to think that GTA 5 is 10 years old and has been on 3 generations of consoles, and it's still the same game we received in 2013. The first port of GTA 5 came in 2014, just 1 year after the initial launch, and while giving us better visuals and some minor changes, the biggest change came with the addition of the first-person mode. While the PS4 and Xbox One versions were good enough for most gamers, that didn't stop Rockstar from wanting more money from the fanbase. In 2022, we saw the game come to yet another generation of consoles with the PS5 and Xbox Series, and, to no one's surprise, not much was changed. Sure, we got 3 graphical options which included 4K and 60 frames and better textures and draw distance, but the biggest change had to come with the improved controls and a snappier switching between characters, making it feel seamless. Small features that in hindsight seem pointless due to most people playing GTA Online more than the main game. BioShock The Collection. Yet another game that gives us a better game overall and takes some features and modes away. For Xbox gamers, this collection is pointless, more so than on PlayStation or Switch, as all 3 games in this collection are playable via backwards compatibility. The original game had a unique enough art style that didn't feel dated and didn't need an upgrade. However, if you were to get this pointless collection of remasters, you would get all the DLC from all 3 games to go along with shiny new graphics. There were some weird choices of things to be cut, most of which came from BioShock 2. Just like most remasters, the multiplayer was cut, but I don't think anyone was really complaining about that. A few songs were changed out, most likely due to licensing. The biggest feature taken out, however, is an accessibility feature. The colorblind mode for the hacking was removed. I think I'll skip this remaster and just play the 2007 version in all its glory. Far Cry Classic. While not as pointless as the linear port we got in Far Cry Instincts, Classic attempts to bring the first game up to par with the smash hit Far Cry 3.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Far Cry Classic was given better visuals, which the game desperately needed, as well as more modern gameplay changes. The addition of aiming down sight with iron sight weapons and new sprinting animations made the game feel fresh. Some of the areas were altered too, with well-placed walls to add cover. All in all, this sounds like it was a great remaster, but there's one thing that made this remaster feel pointless. Did anybody want this? Far Cry Classic was released when the 3rd game was gaining a fan base, and the way each game felt was drastically different, even with the new additions.
Who are you? I'm the guy who's going to tell you how to survive. Call me Doyle.
How do I know I can trust you?
God of War 3 Remastered. Nothing is better than smashing Zeus's face in stunning 1080p, now is there? God of War 3 Remastered suffered the graphical jump from the PS3 to the PS4 not being quite as noticeable as the jump to the PS2 to the PS3. The remastered version did give us some great detail in the character models and the world, but that isn't enough for most players to embark on Kratos' last true hack-and-slash adventure. Other than your typical additions to remasters like all the DLC being included, the only other addition is a photo mode, so we can have a Vogue Kratos with some good filters and angles. The Last of Us Remastered.
Was that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out.
How are there only 2 games in the series and 5 releases? The Last of Us may be one of the kings of pointless remasters, and yet we still buy every one of them. The madness of the remaster blitz started less than 1 year after the original release with The Last of Us Remastered, which brought the PS3 game to the PS4 with slightly enhanced visuals and the Left Behind DLC. The Last of Us Remastered wouldn't be the last time we see the first game get a remaster. However, The Last of Us Part 1 wasn't pointless, as it gave the game a huge facelift with the jump to the PS5, along with using the DualSense in interesting ways. Even if they took away the fantastic multiplayer mode and factions, it'll be interesting to see how the remaster of The Last of Us Part 2 will hold up. At least they're giving us what looks to be a fun roguelike mode.
I don't know, we explain it to them. Look, let's go find a Firefly.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered.
I'm in position. Take the shot.
When you think of Call of Duty, you probably think of the multiplayer and not so much the single-player campaigns. Well, prepare yourself for one of the most pointless remasters known to man with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. For some reason, Activision thought players only wanted a remaster of the campaign. It's fun and all, but let's be honest, we want to play Rust on our PS4 and Xbox Ones. At least purchasing this gave us the classic Ghost Bundle and other goodies for Warzone. there's one plus. Dark Souls Remastered. Most gamers fell in love with the Dark Souls series with Dark Souls 3. So many gamers wanted to go back and play the previous games in the series. Luckily, FromSoft gave fans a remaster. However, it ended up feeling just a tad pointless and a travesty for PC players. For starters, the release of Dark Souls Remastered essentially locked the original game to the PS3 and 360, as the PS3 version was replaced with the remaster. As most players were jumping into the game after playing Dark Souls 3, you would think the controls would have been upgraded to feel more like the third, but they weren't. Other than some visual upgrades, the remaster is a carbon copy of the original game. There are plenty of pointless remasters that didn't make the list. I'm looking at you, Wonderful 101. Let us know in the comments which remaster you think is pointless. We publish content all week long. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest video.